Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and I am here to help you deliver your value to the world. Welcome to our weekly live stream. That's right, it's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Every single week, you can find us here at the subscriber Hangout. Thank you to everybody who shows up every Wednesday to hang out with us, and thank you to everybody who may be stopping in for the first time. If you like what you see and you want to see more videos on how you can help deliver your value to the world, think about clicking that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can check out all the future videos. So great to have everybody here. As usual, there are a bunch of people out there before the live stream even kicked off. YouTube has been throwing a ton of the monkey errors here tonight, so hopefully it doesn't interrupt the live stream, but it took me a while to be able to actually get into the interface to be able to go live. Luckily, it seems to cleared itself up at least enough to get the live stream going on time, so that's a great thing. And I'm going to jump in the chat, say hello to everybody, and see what we have going on. I'm curious, though, how those errors that YouTube is throwing is going to affect our ability to get a normal crowd in here. I had to come to this page several times and refresh it before I could actually get the video up. So we might have a smaller than usual crowd tonight if not everybody is actually able to reach the page. But hey, we can still hang out. It is Wednesday night, so that is what we're going to do. Going to hop in here and say hello to a few people. We have Freshgate TV out there, Old Car Auto Guy. Great to see you once again. Harley out there, Harry Heathen. We have Ethan Short. Who else we got out there? Whiskey Throttle says he's listening to the stream while he does some other work. That's cool. And Kevin Boston 7 out there as well. Scotty's Animals. Saw a few more there. We have Gil. Oh, it just did the refresh thing. Where'd you go? Driving me crazy out there as well. Good to see you, my friend. Crawford Gaming HD. Craft Beer Pours. That sounds like a great idea right about now. We have Gil Poznansky. Hopefully I pronounced that appropriately. And my monitor keeps throwing dialogue boxes over everything. But hey, we'll roll with it. No big deal. Who else we have out there? Ryan Films, Animation, Alex Fishing, Law and Smoke, Hastings, BNSF and Scale. I assume those are trains based on all those different letters and scales. Jesse 3455, Yocosta Solutions, Diloflow, Luna K TV. I feel like anyway, I probably said that wrong. I know I used to say it wrong, and I'm probably saying it wrong now, so I apologize. Donovan Thompson out there. Hasil Tools, Tamandua Girl, a lot of familiar faces and a few new ones. So did see a couple questions here. Going to scroll back and take a look so I don't miss anything. Let's see. I know what do we got back here? We have Scotty's Animals. Slightly confused about SEO. What size of popularity result should I be looking for? Smaller to rank higher or bigger to be more popular? When is the case for switching? What you want to do is find keyword phrases, long tail keyword phrases that you can rank in. If you're just starting out, you basically want to find some of the smaller population ones, try to rank for a few different keyword phrases. That'll get the views to start trickling into your channel. In terms of what size you can target based on the size of your channel, it kind of differs a little bit based on whether you're targeting something that's really focused on the niche that you are and the type of information and videos you've been putting out on YouTube thus far. The more YouTube has an understanding of what your channel is about, the better job they can do of grouping you with other similar channels and sharing that content out that way. So as far as trying to rank, it's not going to be like a specific size. You kind of have to test it for your given channel and see what works best for you. I would start low, especially if you're brand new, and then, maybe every once in a while try to target a little more popular phrase and see if you're able to rank on it. That kind of dictates how your particular channel is going to be able to rank for a given term. And then obviously you want to optimize the heck out of your keyword phrases and your title and your description, and certainly want to put out a strong thumbnail. So when you do get those views, you're kind of building positive messages to YouTube and help you grow that way. So. Scotty's Animal says, my channel grows, it seems easier to rank in search. This is going to be the case, but again, it also has to do with how focused you're staying on the type of content that you're making and your ability to really hone in that keyword research. Whiskey Throttle, hope you have a whiskey to sip while watching. If I sipped whiskey during the live stream, who knows how the live stream would end in 3 hours. What I do have is some sparkling water. I know it's not exciting, but I'm hoping it's a little bit healthier for me than some of the other stuff I drink. So we'll stick with that for now. Save the good stuff for after the live stream. All right, what else we got going on there? Gil sent you a message on Facebook. We'll try to go check that out. Happy Hump Day, says Beer Craft Pours. We are halfway through the week. Hope everybody is having a good one. Crawford Gaming HD says, me. I don't know if you fell down a slide or out the window, but hopefully you landed softly. Driving me crazy out there, of course. Good to see you as always. Been trying to find a good banner setup that matches the tone of my videos, but I can't seem to find one. Do you have any advice? I guess that would depend on exactly what you got going on. Ryan Films Animation, looks like you're doing animation with Lego characters. I would try to, right now your channel art's a little bit dark. I would try to get some a little bit lighter, a little more obvious that you're making scenes with Lego characters, and also maybe throw some text up there that kind of explains exactly what you're doing. Jesse 3455, can I get a shout out? I think that was just it. So you know, a lot of people ask for shout outs, and the reality is that shout outs very rarely do anything significant for a creator. If you have, you know, good content, if you're making good content, then those kind of things kind of work themselves out. If you give a shout out from a really big creator for somebody who's not making good content, it's probably not going to have that big of an impact. If you're somebody that's killing it on contact, you know, there's a guy out there doing the No Small Creator thing, and he had a collaboration, Cody Warner, or Wayner, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name. He says it so fast every time he says it. Did a collab with Peter McKinnon, and that seemed to give him a little spike, but he was making some solid content ahead of time. So that is certainly something to consider. Make sure my mic volume is decent here. But yeah, instead of looking for shout outs and doing that kind of stuff, focus on improving your content, focus on making content consistently, and that'll head you in a much more successful direction than asking for shout outs. All right, what else we got? Driving me crazy, saw those 500 monkeys, got a little nervous. Yeah, it was a little bit puckering leading up to the live stream because I was getting quite a few of them, but I managed to get in the nick of time, and hopefully it doesn't impact us while we're actually live. All right. Tamadua Girl, YouTube was showing me a video in my subscribers that I'm not subscribed to, so I had to subscribe to unsub, and that fixed it. Well, that's interesting. I have not heard of that one. Okay, got a little moderation going on out there. Good to see you, Doug. Science Girl Aquatics. Sorry, I just inhaled an ice cube. Great to have you here, Science Gal Aquatics. Blue Collar Dipper in the house. Good to see you again. And Andre Garza, Lawn Smoke. Keywords really help in addition to making good video. One of my videos now comes up number 1, some are targeted. And that's the way to do it. You find those much smaller one, you get it to rank in the top 5 on page 1, and that's going to help you get views to start trickling in and get some some information to YouTube in regards to what you're all about. Awesome, Mark. Hello to you as well. Good to have you on the live stream. Hassle Tools, what's your thought on video length? Video length is not as important as how long you keep people watching. You can make a 20-minute video, but if you only keep people watching for 3 minutes, then it doesn't really matter how long the video is. If you can consistently keep people engaged, in theory, longer videos could potentially help you, but I would never try to intentionally make a video long. You cover the content as succinct as possible. Get to the point. Don't put a lot of fluff in there for the sake of trying to make your videos longer, and just roll with it. If the content happens to warrant a video that exceeds 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is, first, if you get a video that's 15 minutes and you're normally making 5-6 minute videos, I would definitely take a couple looks at it and see if you have the opportunity to trim it down. Because if you have a bunch of fluff in there and people lose interest, again, you're not going to get the watch time anyway. So it's just better to actually focus on, delivering your message in the most entertaining, engaging way possible, without a lot of dead air and that kind of stuff mixed in for length reasons. Oh, I don't think YouTube would mind if I drank whiskey on camera, but I just don't think I would be all that coherent by the end of the live stream. Got like 3 little ice cubes left in my cup, and they're making it really hard to drink without spilling on myself. So we covered video length. What else we got out there? So do any of you guys run into the 500 YouTube monkey error? The blank page with all the funky text on it, trying to get to the live stream, or were you able to get here without a problem? All right, let's see. Drive Me Crazy says my video list keeps disappearing and reappearing. Yeah, I had that problem in the new YouTube studio. It just said, oh, there seems to be a problem under the video list, and certain other pages were just kind of disappearing. Destiny Darling Dan, my puppy Cash, says hello. Well, hello, Cash. Good to have you hanging out on the live stream. I think my pups are in the other air-conditioned room chilling out, so literally, so usually have them hang out in there during the live streams, or else it would get a little bit noisy in here. So Doug Houston says he's lurking. Thank you so much to Whiskey Throttle for the super chat. Just did some damage to the Stream Boss. For those of you who are new to the live stream, we do this thing called the Stream Boss in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Basically, the Stream Boss ends up with hit points or health points. And I don't know what my monitor's doing, but it's doing some crazy stuff. But in any event, when you get to Stream Boss, you have 100 hit points or health points. For every $1 that somebody contributes via Super Chat, it knocks off 10 points. Whoever knocks off the final blow and brings that Stream Boss down to 0, their channel replaces it. So you get to have your channel name and your icon display up there until the next person comes along. So that means a Super Chat at $10 would wipe out any Stream Boss, because that's the most points that they can have, and you would be the Stream Boss and appear there on the live stream and the replays for as long as you can until somebody knocks you off. So thank you very much for Whiskey Throttle. I do appreciate the Super Chat. We try to, or my goal is to reinvest as much of the revenue that comes in on this channel to be able to expand the way in which I can make content. Got some things in the works with other creators and stuff, and some really cool ways to bring you guys some more value. So we will keep working on that. I was just going to ask, where's Doug? I saw somebody had been corrected by Doug. He's just quietly in the background. Alrighty. Let's see, scroll down here. Oh, scrolling. I see a couple tags there. So I use two for my displays here. I actually use TVs instead of like normal computer monitors. I have two 32-inch Samsung TVs in front of me that are my monitors. And for some reason, some smart device keeps trying to connect to one of my televisions, and it keeps popping up a dialogue over my video. So that's kind of a weird thing. So we'll keep turning that off, and hopefully it doesn't cause any more problems. Let's see here. Alrighty, Destiny Darling says, nope, no error for me. That's good to hear. No problem. No, not today. No problem here. Good, good, good. So a lot of people were able to get to the live stream. That's encouraging. I do see that the total number of watching or people watching the live stream right now has gotten up closer to normal. So maybe that problem isn't getting in the way. So that's good to hear. Romian Daily News, good to have you. Joe's Firewood Videos. Isn't it better to make 10 10-minute videos than one 100-minute video? I'm sure you'd make more money from ads too. You'd also get more views. I mean, personally, I don't make content anywhere near 100 minutes. If you had a topic that you could cover 100 minutes in, I would probably strongly consider breaking that into multiple videos and making it a series. I just think there's a lot of value in doing it that way. Now, granted, to do it that way, you really need to make each individual portion of that engaging to the point not only that they watch that, but that they are going to be interested enough in your topic to want to come back for the next video. If you do not create engaging video in the first video in that series, and then they decide they're not interested and they click away, you run the risk that all subsequent videos are just going to be ignored because you weren't able to get them interested in that first video. Andre Garza, what's your primary goal for your YouTube channel? Making money through ads, promoting other services? ? Well, obviously, the primary goal on this channel is education. That said, it is certainly a goal to make this a successful business. I've had this conversation a lot, or I have written about it. I think I wrote about it on Medium. A lot of people, they tend to think they need to divide creativity and business, that if they start thinking about business, then they are somehow not respecting their creativity. My personal belief on that is that focusing on the business side allows you to extend your creativity or your how-to or whatever the case is to a broader audience. So rather than just saying, I'm an artist and I'm going to do, whatever this is, and just focus on that and totally ignore the business side of things, I think you're missing opportunity there because, like I said, the more you're able to do that, the more you'll be able to take what you're passionate about and generate income with it. That gives you so much more opportunity to find more and more ways to reach a bigger audience. And that's certainly a goal here on this channel. In addition to the free content, there is some other stuff that I'm working on to try to be able to deliver that value in ways that everybody learns differently. Some people are more receptive to these short videos. Some people are more receptive to coursework or maybe actual written documents that are step-by-step and those kind of things. So it's all stuff that I'm looking at. I have a whiteboard over here with all kinds of ideas. In addition to that, I've been talking with clients and other creators on some collaborative stuff to help people beyond YouTube. So all kinds of cool stuff is in the works. But the way I look at it, I don't take anything off the table. I will listen to anybody who is interested in having a conversation about opportunities. And then I'll decide whether it's right for the channel and what I'm trying to do here. So I think if your question was about like monetization and stuff. I think if you get into YouTube and your goal is just money, you're going to fail. It's not going to work. You're going to lose motivation and drive because it won't come across as authentic, and it just never ends well because it's an ebb and flow kind of business, and you really need to enjoy what you're doing, or else there's just going to be too much incentive for you to want to walk away. Whiskey Throttle, thank you so much once again for the super chat. Creative Fundamentals is about the story, not just the liquid and or alcohol. Like your content, I hope to learn and apply your knowledge. I certainly need the help. Hit the stream boss with this chat. So yeah, absolutely. Whiskey Throttle just took over the stream boss with the second super chat. So thank you so much for that. Again, his channel is looking at whiskey and the story behind it. So that actually sounds pretty interesting there. So here, you want to hear a story about whiskey? During Prohibition, my great-grandmother and great-grandfather actually secretly made whiskey during Prohibition. And they used to sell it, and they immigrated from... He was from Russia and she was from, back then I think it was called like Austro-Galicia, but I think it's kind of like the Austria or Poland, somewhere in that area. But yeah, they lived not too far from where I live now, and they actually made whiskey back then. We actually have reel-to-reel tapes that we recovered that are of my great-grandmother talking into a microphone, sharing the stories and the recipe of how they used to make whiskey. So that's a little whiskey trivia from Creator Fundamentals. Let's see. Aquarium Sunshine's Valley, I had to go through the subscriptions videos to get to on the live stream. So you were running into errors, I assume? Kibosh Gaming, congrats on getting 10,000. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Destiny Darling, they're so blessed. Thanks for saying hi to us. Thank you for coming and hanging out in the live stream. We have Legend Raver. Nice to be here. Great to have you. Kevin Boston, I always see my own videos pop up in my recommendations on my TV. Why is this? Why is YouTube recommending my videos to me instead of to other people? I know what's in my videos. Yeah, it's kind of interesting the way that works sometimes. I've certainly had my own videos recommended to me. Plus, I also tend to get videos that I've already watched recommended to me again. I don't know if because they have statistics that say, maybe there's a habit of watching certain videos over again, but yeah, some of that stuff is a bit strange why they do what they do. Luna KTV, hello everybody. Hello to you too. Automoto channel. My videos are 2 minutes. Should I upload longer videos, at least up to 5 minutes? I would say upload what's relevant to your channel, depending on exactly what you're making content about. You could certainly, I would think in most cases, you could probably go longer than 2 minutes. You just, with a video that short, you do run the risk of, a little bit harder to gain watch time. But at the same time, if the message that you're sharing only takes 2 minutes, you don't want to fake it to 5 minutes. So if you are considering making longer content, make sure that it's, that you're actually filling that content with value and not just trying to hit a certain length. When I make videos, I literally talk to the camera, I edit it, and however long it is, it is. I have no preset idea of how long I want the video to be. And, I just allow the content to determine the length. Foulfish, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. All right, here, trying to scroll down without losing this. Let's see how that goes. Oh, that didn't go well. All right, had to go through. We covered that. DJ Scrappin' or DC Scrappin' Rooster, hello to you too. thanks for joining. Metal X Music, good to have you back on the stream. Super enthused out there as well, great to have you. All right, April Broswell. Sound went dead for me. Anyone else having this problem? Mic looks good on my end, so other than making sure you're not muted, we still look like we have sound. Yeah, me and Doug Houston are in two very different parts of the world here. Typically, Sarah, that is something that you absolutely don't want to do in a live stream. We don't trade subs, definitely not in this chat, so I don't recommend doing that again. I try to always make bullet points to chat about in my videos. I can do a video that's too unstructured that it ends up being way too long. Yeah, when I do videos, I do it with bullet points. So I just kind of write down or remember the parts of the video that I want to make, and then I just I get out there and do it. Aquarium, Sunshine's Valley. I really wonder when the AI will finally be clever enough to understand that aquarium videos are safe for monetization. Every video is demonetized. Request is not possible. It's funny because I went through a really long stretch of having all my videos demonetized, and I had to request a review. Yeah, I mean, definitely request the review even if you don't meet the requirements. Kathy Fit, good to have you in the live stream. Instant Rye Play, hello to you as well. Don't worry about the view requirement, because that's the requirement that says they can't review it. The algorithm actually circles back and looks at your video by itself. So definitely get your review in and just see what happens. Usually on all mine, they didn't, I mean, back when it was happening to me, I wasn't getting 1,000 views in the required time frame, but they would all go back to monetize, so. Driving me crazy, spot on, Dan, and frankly, you helped me slowly get to that understanding. Took me a while to get it through my thick skull, but I am taking steps now to get off the ground. Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunity out there, guys, and you can stay true to your creativity while also getting the revenue working to help you grow your channel. So I definitely recommend that, and don't let the idea of being an artist or a creator get in your way of monetizing your content. Old Car Auto Guy, do you think a scripted video has a greater impact over a candid one? My personal belief is exactly the opposite. I don't script my videos. I find a lot of people who do script their videos script them because they're kind of nervous on camera and they're not sure what to say. I think your ability to speak about a topic more casually is going to come across that way, whereas people who are working on scripts sometimes sound like they are working from a script. So I guess if you are really, really good about working from a script without making it sound that way, then maybe that could be valuable to you. But I intentionally, I mean, sometimes I have to redo a part 10 times, but I like the flow of it better if I'm just talking off the top of my head. A tip for that, a couple tips for that is, one of the mistakes that I used to make when I was recording videos and using bullet points is I would start the camera, I would cover a bullet point, then I would stop the camera, and then I would go to the next one, start and stop and start and stop. So I'd end up with a ton of files that I had to pick through and edit. The way I do it now, I just leave the camera rolling and I will hop on there and talk about bullet point 1 for as long as I can. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes, and then I stop. And then I don't touch the camera. I just let it run, and then I prepare for the next part. You know, sometimes I have to do that part 2, 3, 4 times, but it makes it a lot easier when you go back to edit and you have that single file, if you know you messed something up several times, you can kind of look at the spikes in the audio on the video clips to see when you attempted each section, and typically it's the longest part of audio versus all the little small ones where you flubbed and had to stop. I just go in and I grab the long sections and I edit them out that way. So that definitely helps a lot. But I just think it comes across as more natural on camera when you're just working off of bullet points and, you know, trying to have a conversational tone. But depending on your content, it could work. All right. Yeah, and the best way to get over your camera fear here on YouTube is to just keep making videos. I mean, if you look at some of my older content, it's night and day about the way that I talk on a camera now versus the way I did back then. I mean, I wasn't overly concerned about talking to a camera when I first started, but it certainly has become more natural and something that I can do. And, you know, I'm not a vlogger, so I feel completely weird trying to do stuff in public recording video, but eventually I'll work on that and get that done. But talking in the camera this way, or when I'm actually making my videos, it's become much more comfortable. Let's see. Scrolling. All right, so... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, not sure if I did that right, but let's see. Really need to provide some feedback about the way that they do this chat, because it is very difficult to ensure that I don't miss anybody's chat because of the way it jumps to the bottom. Always nervous, outline and speak extemporaneously. Let's see. YouTube demonetized my live stream while it was on and then remonetized it after it cost me all the money you get live. You don't really get, I mean, unless you have a really big audience, you're not getting a ton of money while you're live. You know, unless you're pulling in thousands of views on your live stream, then possibly. But all right, what else we got here? Christiana Link, hello to you. Welcome to the live stream. Whiskey Throttle, I'm seeing people being more YouTubers than creators of their chosen subject. How did you find the balance? I'm assuming, like you said, more YouTuber than creator. So I don't know if that is the people trying to be like the Logan Pauls of the world, where it's just, you know, fake reality and they do all the crazy stuff just to get attention. Obviously in my boat, it's you know, providing educational videos, so it's a little bit easier to stay out of that mix. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on what your thoughts are on the difference between a YouTuber and a creator. All right. Legend Raver, thank you for all the advice you gave. I watched a lot of yours and it helped. And TubeBuddy, I love it. TubeBuddy is great. Absolutely. Thought I'd say thanks for the advice, and I took all you gave. Awesome. Great to hear. Hope it continues to help you. And since you created that natural segue, I want to remind everybody that this live stream is sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you should definitely download. It is free. It is available in the description below. I'll even hop in here. I'll throw a link in the chat as well. You got nothing to lose. Try it out. It's definitely helpful. It gives you a bunch of tools that you can use when you're uploading your videos. I was using it long before they were gracious enough to sponsor my channel, and I wouldn't consider having a sponsor on the channel for a product that I don't believe in. So TubeBuddy is great. Not only is TubeBuddy great, but the people that work there are awesome as well. So can't say enough good things about TubeBuddy. And let's see. We covered that. All right. Slowboat Sailing says it's a lot easier to talk to a camera than remembering lines in a play. I could buy that. Comfortable try and record some on camera, knowing that you're not going to post them. Yeah, you could certainly do that. You could just do test video on camera that only you watch. You can watch it back, see the parts of it that you like and you don't like, and then just practice that until you get better at it. I mean, I still, you know, like I just did right there, I still do the thing more than I want to. But I think that comes with time. You can also get that out of there in editing, which is good. All right. Whiskey Throttle there. Looking up stats and studying the algorithm. Oh, algorithm more than say the whiskey subject as an example. Yeah, I mean, definitely there's people who get too caught up in the numbers. You definitely don't want to do that. If you just focus on the creativity part of it and making content and improving your content, that's going to serve you a lot better than fixating on the algorithm and all the different ways trying to figure out how the system works. I mean, I think there's value in that stuff, but ultimately improving your content is really one of the most valuable things that you can do. Kara J Live, do you believe subscriber 2 will hurt channel over? If you're talking about sub for sub, absolutely do not do sub for sub. Do not do support for support or anything like that. Any attempt to exchange attention for attention is a violation of YouTube's terms of service, and it will get your channel banned. It'll also get you muted or hidden. Certainly from my channel, I get so many people who do it on my channel. It's tough to actually respond to the people who have legitimate comments because there are so many people out there doing the sub for sub thing. And most of them get deleted. Others get reported to YouTube. You know, or I just hide their content or their comments so they think they're commenting and nobody can see their stuff. So definitely don't do sub for sub. It will not help your channel. It will only hurt your channel. Having 1,000 fake subs who never look at your content do absolutely nothing for you. Other than, you know, it's like something you would do in junior high to say, hey, look at me, I have 1,000 subs. It's kind of a popularity thing for kids. So it doesn't do anything. It's completely fake. It's like kind of like showing people that you're rich by showing them a bunch of play money. It's literally that void of value. So I definitely don't want to do that. Arthur Moorhead, any good tutorials on learning about TubeBuddy? There's a TubeBuddy channel on YouTube. You should definitely check that out and subscribe. I haven't done a TubeBuddy tutorial recently, but I've actually spoken to the TubeBuddy before about doing some type of collab. Actually, Andrew Can. I'd like to have him on the channel and do some TubeBuddy type stuff that I can share with you guys. So we'll probably do that in the future. Also going to try to collab with them at Vid Summit in October 9th through the 12th. If you guys are, you know, considering trying to take your channel to the next level and you really want that opportunity to see what the highly successful professional YouTubers and creators are doing. VidSummit is an awesome opportunity to do that. Unlike VidCon, which is more of a fan event, VidSummit's all about the business of YouTube. So it's like the behind the scenes people who are building and growing channels and making great, 6-figure incomes doing it. They're sharing how they have gotten to where they are and the strategies and tips and everything you need to kind of do that for your own. There's been some great success stories about people that went to VidSummit and heard that bit of information they needed to take their channel to the next level. So got some cool, the CEO of Patreon's going to be there speaking. Peter McKinnon's going to be there, along with Brian G. Johnson, Nick Nimmin, Roberto Blake, Tim Schmoyer, Sean Cannell. They're all going to be there. It's going to be a good time. Plus, there's the Scherer brothers, if you know them. They'll be there as well. Kathy Fit, I edit my ums out. Yeah, I try to. So I gotta, okay. Destiny Darling, I don't breathe in my videos. Don't pass out on camera. That's probably not a good look. All right. Right, Kara J, they don't really watch your videos. So, yeah, they'll do sub for sub. I mean, a lot of times, to make it even worse, these people will say sub for sub, and then as soon as you sub to their channel, they unsubscribe from yours. It's pure bottom feeding. None of those channels are going to amount to anything, and it is just absolutely better. If you want to engage with other creators and maybe make relationships that can help your channel, then join a community, join a Facebook group. I'll throw a link right now. Did that go through? That went through. I'll throw a link to the Creator Fundamentals Facebook group. That's a great place to go and interact with other creators and, learn what to do and what not to do, tips and tricks. And I'm in there and responding to stuff, and other people in the community are sharing their thoughts. That's the group, much better way to interact with other creators, to actually get the information you need, plus build relationships that can really help you, down the road. Dennis from Driving Me Crazy is in the chat out there. When I decided to get serious about learning how YouTube worked, I joined a Facebook group called Small YouTuber Community. Dennis was one of the admins of that. That was the very first place I went to start engaging with the YouTube community. And now I've known Dennis now for, we're going on a year and a half here since I joined that group. So, build those relationships. You never know when they might just turn around and help you out. So, the Bemuse VidSummit sounds amazing. I hope to attend one day. Yeah, I mean, the only downside of VidSummit for me is that it's in Los Angeles, and I got to fly there from New York. But otherwise, it's a great time. You stay there right. You stay right in the hotel that VidSummit is held. So you don't. I mean, if you so chose, you get on a bus. The hotel that it's at is called the Westin Los Angeles. I think it's Los Angeles Airport, or however they write it, but they have a shuttle. So you land at LAX, you get on the shuttle, it brings you to the Westin, and then you're in the Westin all week. You go down, there's a restaurant in the Westin, there's a bar in the Westin, there's like a morning breakfast thing. So if you wanted to, you could literally go there and take care of everything you needed right in the hotel, and then take the shuttle back and hop on your plane and go home. Beyond that, it's such a great opportunity to interact with other creators. Alrighty. See what we got going on here in the chat. I think I'm close to caught up here. Yeah, I know the airport's called... Oops, sorry. I know the airport's called LAX, but I'm trying to... I think the hotel is called like the Westin Los Angeles Airport. I don't think it's called Westin LAX, so... But anyway, I think there's only one Westin near the airport. Welcome, Rodney B. Hunt. Good to see you. Needs more subs. Tell your daughter I said sweet dreams. We'll see you in a few. To which she'll reply, who the heck is Creator Fundamentals? All right. So apparently Destiny's not holding her breath. She's just cutting out any signs of breathing from her videos. Let's see. Sell and shell, just a couple that would be beneficial to here. Let's see. Hey, Dennis, driving me crazy. I just made you a moderator. You want to share a link to the small YouTuber community in the chat? This is so okay, Taylor. This is actually a mug I got at the county fair. It was like one of those soda trucks where they make their own soda. But it is sparkling water. It's nothing good. It's not actually LaCroix because we ran out. I know. This is actually Poland Spring pomegranate lemonade. You got to do what you got to do. All right. So I shared this is the Facebook group, the Creative Fundamentals Facebook group. I just shared it. Driving Me Crazy is going to share a link to the small YouTuber community. Those are two great groups to interact with other creators. They're actually engaged group. They don't allow spamming of channel links, so you can't. It's not the place to go to drop your link and run. It's to actually interact with people and learn about the community, learn about how to grow, the right way to grow, and meet people, collaboration opportunities and those kind of things. Right, Taylor, not sponsored, but Poland Springs, if you would like to sponsor me for your Poland Springs sparkling water, you can reach me at askdan@creatorfundamentals.com. All right. Oops, I almost tipped over my sparkling water. How embarrassing. Alrighty. All right. Did you see I just got my new hats in. What do you think of the hat? Actually, out of all the merch I've done, I really like these shirts. These are my I think it's called like heather gray. I just like the color of this shirt. Cuz I have dogs, and when I wear black shirts, it's really hard to hide the fact that I have dogs. And this is a nice dark color, but it's kind of hides the fact if I happen to, touch one of the dogs, I don't look like I'm covered in hair. Let's see here. I don't know if pink is my color, Destiny. Let me see what colors I chose for this. Let me see. I got in the same color. I got a hoodie. I dig that one as well. So, there it is. Let's see. This is actually merch by Amazon. I just like how they turned out. Actually, I don't even think I built into the actual logo tee. I don't think I even built in a profit. If I did, it was like $1 or something. They're like $14.99 on Amazon. but they turned out nice. And Destiny, I did check on that link. There is a pink. Pink is one of the color options. There's black and navy, and they call it asphalt, was like a solid gray, and then the one I'm wearing, which is dark heather, and then a pink. Okay, is Taylor? Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is report each video where they've done that. That's certainly a problem. I came across a channel today that took Gary V's entire audiobook and uploaded it on YouTube. And their ideology about why it was okay is because they heard Gary V say that that people should put his book on torrent or something. My personal thought is, even if the creator says it's okay or is not going to bother, it's just such cheap content if you're just taking other people's stuff and re-uploading it. Good question. Adventure. Now I got to see what the... hey, man, does the watch time analytics take into account your own watch time? You know, that is a question that I've often wondered, and I'm going to say that it probably does, but you also don't want to get... you don't want to get into the habit of intentionally watching your own content. They will pick up on that, and that can cause you problems. But from what I've seen, to a certain degree, yes, it does count your own views and things. Sabby BGT, have you sold any? I actually haven't. I don't post them anywhere. I created it so I could buy one. I don't really promote my merch because it's just something I'm kind of playing with at the moment. But yes, I have sold some. I'm kind of trying to attack one focal area at a time. Devon Street, hey, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I mean, every once in a while I'll throw a link to a t-shirt and stuff if I'm wearing it or something, but I definitely don't do a hardcore press on merch. Like the hats, these were something that I made just for me. But I did order some. I have a few of them. In fact, that reminds me, I did a little thing on Twitter to retweet one of my last videos, and I owe somebody a hat. I got to pick somebody from that list. Let's see here. Destiny says, let me be your brand rep. I can make a cute crop top out of the pink one. If you reach out to me on Facebook and you live in the US, maybe I'll send you one. All you got to do is tag me somewhere on social after you do it. Let's see here. Kathy Fit, they obviously realize that you watch your videos while you're while you're working on them. But if you're like, if a ton of traffic is going to all your, like if you're watching your playlists and letting them play, I mean, I've done that by mistake. I've watched a video here and then I've come back from work and heard my computer talking. And I don't even know where it went or what it watched, but I just wouldn't make it a habit of doing it. Drive me crazy. Honestly, I was not. So far, I'm not as thrilled with the traffic on that video as I wanted to be. But based on some information that Daryl Eves put out regarding how YouTube has changed the way that they're suggesting videos, I'm going to be interested in seeing how that video does here in a couple weeks, because it was optimized for search. So hopefully it will grow slowly and then maybe get some suggested video, and hopefully it'll take off and do well in suggested. We'll see. It had pretty good, it generated pretty good watch time, and it was really high in engagement. So we'll see. You never really know how people are going to receive content and what's really going to explode. The video, the biggest video on this channel that has like 210,000 views or whatever it is probably one of what I would consider my worst video edits. And that's just what happens. So, all right. Poganlol.com. All right. Dignity, hello to you. Welcome back to the live stream. Good to have you. Self-publishing with Dale, wrapping up his live stream and coming and hanging out with us. Good to see you, Dale. I had a call today with our mutual acquaintance. We're going to do some more on that front. See what that's all about. Alrighty, let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. What time are we at? We're closing in on the first hour of the live stream. Why don't we look at a couple channels? If you want your channel reviewed, go ahead and tag Creator Fundamentals and follow it with the name of your channel. Yeah, we'll see, Dale. Still exploring. Going to be some follow-up conversations with a couple more people, so bring everybody together. It should be interesting. Had some videos I put zero work in to get tons of views, and some I put a lot of work into editing. Yeah, and I just heard from a guy that I know that lives near me, Tom DeSico. He put in a ton of editing effort on a video he made, and it had somebody else's song in it that he was drumming to, and he thought worst case scenario they would just take the ad revenue from the channel, or, but they ended up taking the video down. That particular content owner doesn't monetize other people's videos. They just force the video off of YouTube. So that was kind of a hard thing. He's still trying to figure out how to get it on YouTube because he put in so much work on editing it. Alrighty, I see some channels rolling in here. We're going to try to organize them a bit. And let's see. Put that one there. Put that one there. Make sure none of these are auto-playing in the background. Okay, we're good. And Gotta get Whiskey Throttle to send me some samples. All right, let's see here. No, not that one. That's not the one I wanted. Get up there. Make sure we don't have any auto starts. Okay. And do that one. Throw that up there. And pause that. Alrighty, and Southern Bubba, hello, Dan. Great stuff you are giving us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming and hanging out on the live stream. Don't know how to tag. So if you type, the @ symbol and then you start to type the channel's name, if you're on desktop, it will kind of autofill or give you options that match it. If you're on mobile, it's a royal pain in the butt, and you actually have to type out the full name exactly how it looks. Although it's interesting, I see people who have successfully tagged me with and without the space, and it does actually highlight. So that is good to know. Morsi, Ilium Rex, I have been streaming now for an hour. Got some more time to go. All right, so Arthur Moorhead, does that mean that you would like us to take a look at your channel? Let me know. Does the number of watchers in a live stream help your stream get discovered more? I honestly do not know how YouTube, if YouTube does anything based on the live stream count. I do think for, relative terms, let's see, like if you went and searched for, let's just do a test here, out to YouTube, and did something like YouTube channel reviews. Curious where it might pop. So right now, if you, at least for me, if you do a search for YouTube channel reviews, I'm third on the page. One, because I'm actually live and the actual live content does a little bit better, but also it's something that I do all the time here. So that is, definitely going to help your channel show up to other people. All right, here. I'll throw you up there as well. 5 and pause. And make sure I didn't miss anybody. And I'm going to go over here. All right. Just let a couple people in the Creator Fundamentals Facebook group. Great to have you guys there. Destiny, your current friend count is scary. The time that I approved you, it was at 666. All right. Okay, so we got a few channels to take a look at here, and we're going to do them pretty much in the order. Nice. All right. So let me kind of situate stuff here. Make sure I got my review screen set up here accordingly. Get that adjusted a little bit. I think that is pretty good. So the first channel we're going to take a look at. Make sure all looks well. All looks well. Is Whiskey Throttle. Now, I do believe there's been some changes here since the last time we looked at this channel, but there's definitely some stuff here that I like. You got Whiskey Throttle across the top here. I love the subtle YouTube logo on the helmet. I still think based on the while I think the channel art is really cool, you might yeah, so okay, so really need to communicate. Well, what I was going to say about the channel art is the name makes me think it has something to do with whiskey. Throttle doesn't necessarily tell me that you're dealing with motorcycles. I mean, the helmet kind of, alludes to that, but I would define exactly what your channel is focused on, and to do that in your description. So actually, kind of like a mission statement, or kind of explaining if somebody said, hey, what kind of content do you do on your YouTube channel? How would you explain it to them? Do you just say, hey, I'm a motorcycle and whiskey enthusiast? Or do you say, well, I do videos on whiskey reviews and other stuff? So let's look at your playlist and see exactly. So right now, you definitely need to be creating some playlists based on the content that you have. Let's see what you got video count wise. Live opening a bottle, whiskey, time, whiskey. All right, so it would seem to me that the majority of your content is, let's see, Wednesday night hangout, rough day. Let's look at your most recent content. So live bottle opening, whiskey in a small town, a small farm town, 14th, shift night finish, McAllen, 13th night shift, 12th night shift. All right, so one of the things that you could consider doing, because you're kind of doing this little night, you're doing maybe like a live stream after every night shift. I think that's maybe what you did here. I would get all those in a playlist, and call them. Let's see, are they actual? Let's take a look here and see how we're. So these are actual live streams.
Very far from Vietnam. There might be some Vietnamese people.
All right, so kind of doing a kind of a vloggy kind of thing here, but you got some whiskey in the mix. Looks like a microphone. So yeah, I might try to get some organization in your playlists to kind of differentiate the kind of content that you're making. If these are all like live streams, I would try to get those grouped together. And then kind of think about the kind of content that you want to make. Try to organize it into some of the different like the different areas or topics that you want to cover in regards to whiskey. Are you doing tastings? Like here, you're just kind of drinking and talking. Maybe group all those together, and then if you do some type of official like a taste test on a bunch of different types of whiskey, I would put all those in a playlist, try to get that all organized into those playlists, and then on your main channel page here, I would drop the uploads. I would create a playlist, call it latest videos from Whiskey Throttle, and put those there, and then get all your playlists listed on your channel page, so people know exactly what kind of content that you're making. Also, might want to consider doing some custom thumbnails here, because it kind of just looks like you're grabbing screen prints. You could really improve the engagement of these. A lot of times you're showing the bottle, but like if you took a nice still image, where you're holding that bottle out nice and close to the camera where people can see exactly what you're showing them, you can go, get a lot more people interested in coming to check out your video. But as you're writing your about section, to kind of, put into words exactly what you're going to focus on, maybe consider trying to get something a little more informational to the people that look at your channel. It's going to go a long way in getting people to understand what's going on and then giving them a reason to subscribe. And also by thinking about that and writing it down, it's going to help you kind of, guide your content to not just be sitting in front of the camera. You're going to have specific, goals in mind when you're making content. All right. All righty. Let's see. Hopping back in the chat here real quick. Let's catch up here. Scrolling up. All right. Destiny says, yeah, it's hard to tag here on an iPhone. Yeah, it's really hard to do it on the iPhone. I find that very frustrating. Hopefully they'll get an update out that makes it easier. Let's see, to be honest, I don't know how I discovered Dale, but he makes great videos. Absolutely. Channel art looks nice. Here, let's see. Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing any questions in here. See a lot of conversation going on. Take care, Dale. Have a good night. He's probably long gone by now, but I'm just reading the chat. Whiskey Throttle, I've only done lives. See, I think you could really help grow your channel, Whiskey Throttle, by taking some of the different whiskeys and just simply doing a video that provides information on them. Show the bottle, explain the taste if that's something that you're comfortable doing, give an idea how much it costs, and any other useful information about it. Mixing those videos with your live stream, you can, get stuff that's showing up in search for people who are trying to learn more. Maybe they're looking at Macallan or some other beverage of choice, but mixing those videos in can really help you grow your channel. Let's see. Let's see. The day they allow. I don't have the dark theme. Yes, great. Alrighty. Let's see who the next person on the list is. Next one up is Devon Street. And here is Devon Street. Thank you very much for listing the channel over here. A lot of great names on that list. All right, so very clean, straight to the point. Channel art tells people exactly what to expect from your channel. Build an online presence. Devon Street, you got your picture going on up there. New video every Sunday. You've set the expectation. What I always like to double check when setting an expectation is actually make sure that you are, in fact, doing it based on your schedule. I hate the fact that it just says a week. So it looks like you're doing more than just Sunday, right? Every Sunday, yep. Because I am seeing 2 videos a week, 3 days ago, which could be Sunday, and then yesterday. So seems like maybe you're committing to Sunday, but doing more than just Sunday. Thumbnails, you got your image in all the thumbnails so people can tell it's you. See, one of the problems that YouTube has is there's too many hovering icons that they put all over the thumbnails. It's like it's hard to win. But generally speaking, your thumbnails are well organized. Got to get my cursor out of the way. Rank and search. You're avoiding the timestamp, which is good. Text is easy to read. It's consistent with the text that you're using up in your channel art. Closing in on 700 subscribers, so congrats ahead of time. Very consistent with what you got going on. Review. It's an interesting deviation from your normal design here. Make super thumbnails to get more views. Looks like that was when you actually changed your approach there. And build your online presence and make money in the process. Came to the right place. That works. Let's see how you got your playlists all organized here. YouTube mistakes to avoid. Key limits for editing tutorials. Click to get more views. Ranking videos. Looking good. Home screen. Start YouTube channel 2018. You got your descriptions. All in all, looking pretty good here. Fellow TubeBuddy user. Good to see. You got your... So nothing for those of you who aren't familiar, you can actually set tags for your channels. It's in the studio section. You can actually assign keyword phrases to your channel. All right. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it seems pretty much on point. I see you've done some various changes here. There's a couple thumbnails, you know, and I've seen other creators doing this recently. And I'm not sure I'm sold on it yet, with it basically putting the entire title in the thumbnail. I don't feel like the thumbnail needs that much information, but I don't know. I guess we'll see exactly how that plays out for them. I think I saw Roberto Blake do it just the other day. Is it today's video? He actually had the entire title on the thumbnail, which I thought was an interesting approach. It's something that I don't typically try to do. My thought is there's no sense in repeating the title because your thumbnail is always showed with the title. And your goal on the thumbnail is just to get people to check out the title and click on your video. But it will be interesting to see how that plays. One of the things I would do if you wanted to experiment with doing basically that full title approach is try to do some A/B testing with some other varieties and see how that works out for you. All right. But otherwise, doing a lot of the right things. Definitely has everything organized, consistent. Definitely has the brand working here. People can see that it's him. Put some time and effort into the cutouts on the thumbnail, so that's cool. Got variety in the actual things. Let's see. One thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't flip your image to get you pointed in the other direction when you have text on your shirt. Or otherwise you end up wearing an LGoog t-shirt instead of a Google t-shirt. Just something to consider. All right. Let's see. And drive me crazy. I got away from full titles and thumb and try to get a shorter, not quite clickbait summary. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that's kind of the way to go. I mean, I'm still sold on that approach that the less is more on a thumbnail. You know, and if you can kind of be creative in the way you present the content, you have to be, ultimately when people watch your video, they have to, you don't want them to feel like they got cheated by the thumbnail. So it's important that the thumbnail makes sense in terms of the content. But that said, you're trying to evoke emotion with that thumbnail and get people to watch the video. So certainly consider being creative. See, now I think you should make an LGoog. You should create your own LGoog t-shirts, Devin. If they start selling it like crazy, just remember me. Let's see. All right, so scrolling here. Fantastic Joe, great to have you. Launchpad Astronomy also joining the stream. We got Chipface out there. The Bemuse, I think we saw earlier. Absolutely. All right, so one of the great things about being a Creator Fundamentals patron is you definitely get priority when we're doing live streams and channel reviews. Appreciate Chris Conkle. He is for sure one of Creator Fundamentals patrons. And just want to jump in here and check out his channel real quick. He's got the branding going, using consistency with the image that he's using, his face in the channel art, in his icon, and in the actual thumbnails themselves. One thing I consider, might explore using the same gray as the background in this as you do with these. Not a huge thing, but you know, just something to go with. You're keeping your text out of the lower right hand corner because we see the timestamps there. They can kind of get in the way. Your branding is very consistent. You got your logo going everywhere. People can see what's going on, and you are the text is a little bit fancy, which can certainly make it harder to read when it's smaller. So one thing that I would consider, this thumbnail here probably crosses over into questionable territory in terms of the writing. Kind of makes it hard to read what's going on there at that size and all those words. But otherwise, these are, you know, very easy to read. They do show up. They have decent contrast. But I might even explore using, you know, a consistent kind of text like you're using up here in some of your thumbnails. But for the most part, everything is branded together. People can definitely tell it's your content, which is a great thing if you're trying to build a brand. Let's take a look at your playlists. See how you got things organized here. Thank you for liking the live stream. If you guys are in the live stream and haven't clicked that thumbs up button, I would truly appreciate it. And videos we covered. Got some crazy goggles going on right there. And then we're doing, we just get your description on your greed building. Is that, oh no, that's just a headline, right? That's not an actual, okay. Strike that. I assume that's just the optional headline for a channel. I like what you got going on in your live stream now. That's looking sharp. And this is what I wanted to look at down here. All right, descriptions, everything. Absolutely. You know, Chris is a great example. So many people ask, or, you know, they constantly ask questions, and, you know, some people even come back to live stream after live stream and they ask kind of the same questions over and over again. But then you go and you do a channel review, or they come back and ask for multiple channel reviews. Chris is an example of somebody who takes that information and actually applies it to his channel. So when we do reviews like this, you can see that he is applying all of this stuff. You know, he's using his face in his thumbnail. YouTube has stated that helps with engagement and gets people to click on video or on thumbnails more than thumbnails that don't have your face on them. He's using that consistent branding. He's got his playlist. He's got the horizontal single playlist. He's got full descriptions. You know, you're using actual keyword phrases that can show up in search and has everything working together. So I definitely encourage you, if you know, you want to do a channel review, that you try to apply some of the stuff, the feedback that you get, because it does help. I wouldn't share it with you guys if I was just making it up off the top of my head. But I've seen a lot of creators who do these types of things that can absolutely help their channels grow. So great job by Chris in applying all of those things, and he continues to tweak it, and he's probably, you know, redone this stuff a number of times trying to dial it in, and you know, he keeps improving his channel as a whole. All right. Next up is going to be Kathy Fit. And all right, here. Launch Astronomy, watching you from Mohawk Mountain Resort near New Paltz. I think I played baseball in New Paltz. I am near Albany, New York. And I mean, I definitely played New Paltz. I played baseball in college, and I definitely played New Paltz. I'm just trying to think if we played. I think we might have played one season. We played at New Paltz. All right, so let's see here. Devin Street, I played all your suggestions from you and Nick Nimmons reviews. Absolutely, that's the way to do it. Take that information and try to apply it the best you can. And let's see here. Thank you so much to Fantastic Joe for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. Just because Dan is the man, well, I thank you. Okay. Yeah, somewhere in that general ballpark, Launchpad.
All right.
And that super chat put the Fantastic Joe in the stream boss position. So congrats to you for that. Get a little, it'll take it a second to update if you guys aren't seeing it yet. Let's see. Before we jump back into the chat, I see an interesting question. Any thoughts on MasterCard forcing Patreon to remove a creator? Well, now I gotta look, because I'm not familiar with that story. Let's see what the details are there. MasterCard forces Patreon to kick off Jihad Watch's Robert Spencer. Forced funding platform Patreon to kick... Interesting. I'm trying to figure out what the basis of what is. Oh, this is on. Yeah, something seems squirrely about that. I don't know what MasterCard has to do with Patreon. So basically, this article says that MasterCard forced Patreon to remove a specific person from their platform, saying that MasterCard has a stricter set of rules and regulations than Patreon, and they reserve the right to not offer their services to accounts of their choosing. This is in line with their terms of service, which means it's something we have to comply by. Spencer claimed he doesn't use MasterCard and didn't have a MasterCard attached to the Patreon account. Yeah, I'm not sure. That seems like it has some kind of political undertone, so I would have to look at that in more detail. It's kind of a weird one-off there. So the article is basically about somebody described as a conservative being kicked off Patreon and claims that he was kicked off of it because he's a conservative. Yeah, I'd have to dig in the story more to really understand what's all going on there, because that story is not the most succinctly written article I've ever seen. So I'd have to get some other stuff to form an opinion on it. Kevin Boston, were you ever a mailman at any time in your life? No, I've never been a mailman. I work in the computer software industry. All right. Next channel is Kathy Fit. Before we go having a political debate in the chat, which is not something we're going to do. All right. Weight loss, food, fitness, dance, and fun vlogs. All right, let's see here. Videos. Consistency in your design there. I think people would be able to identify your content is yours. The one thing I do see, the one thing that you should try to fix is that the square behind your logo, and you may or may not be able to see this on your monitor, is actually a different color black than this area, so it kind of stands out. So you'd want to do, if you're using like an editor, like Photoshop or something, you can actually use the little dropper to grab that color black and replace it all with black. If you're using some other app or service, you might want to check to see if that is an option that they have, just because you can see the square there. I mean, and I can tell that you're consistent there, but it's hard to see what that logo actually looks like. But generally speaking, you got your color scheme going. You're being consistent with how you're setting up the thumbnails. Although I do see a little bit of like these, that area is kind of jumping all over the place. These last two kind of seem more consistently, but it also almost seems like you're doing it freeform each time rather than having a template to do it. That may be something you want to consider, to create a template to be able to, have it a consistent look. Quick tour, gym, family edition. Our residential gym center vlog. one thing I would do is always try to use consistent capitalization in your titles. Capitalize the first letter of each word. And then if you're going to use, I wouldn't use periods in your titles, and I would use consistent spacing. So if you're going to use a pipe to split stuff, I would do a space on each side just to make it look more organized. Dance fitness workout class in New York City. 14-day water challenge. As much as possible, I would try to consider focusing these on things that people can search for as much as you can. It's kind of challenging when you're doing a vlog style channel, but it is just something to keep in mind. The channel's focus on weight loss. You get straight to the point, identifying exactly what your channel is about, so that's good. Got your playlists, out of my comfort zone, video updates, life changing, water challenge. And again, anytime we can make playlist names for searchable, or make them searchable, that can always be beneficial as well. You got the uploads right here. Like I said, I personally like replacing uploads with something that's a little more searchable related to your channel. You know, something that like says latest videos from Kathy Fit. That way, if somebody's searching for your actual channel name, that playlist might pop up in the search results and be able to get there. Whereas uploads is not something that people are going to find. And then it just looks a little more organized than simply having that. So I have one that's called Latest from Creator Fundamentals, and it's literally every time I add a video, they all go to that playlist in addition to other playlists, and it is, you know, a reverse chronological thing. So the newest one is always there. And then organization of playlists, I try to get, you know, my most popular content up here, the playlist, and then I'll organize the playlist by most popular videos. Unless it's time sensitive, then you may want to consider other ways to do that. All right. But otherwise, definitely heading in the right direction. Do, like I said, with the tweaks, try to find a little more consistency with the way you're bringing in that area. You're using the consistent font, which is good. This particular font is a little harder to read, so whenever possible, try to keep that font to the fewest words possible. And that's about it for that one. Hop in the chat here real quick. All right. Yeah, searchable content definitely becomes a little bit harder when you're doing vlog style videos. So if you're not going to optimize for search, then you need to optimize your thumbnails and your titles for emotion. And that means consider your existing audience or the possible people that are going to come across your thumbnails in, you know, browse mode or on the home page or wherever. And you really need to capture their, you know, some kind of emotional response on the thumbnail. You have to make it interesting, intriguing, exciting, something that makes them want to click on the video to see what's going on. Kevin Boston says, what's wrong with periods? I just think they're not necessary. A period is for the end of a sentence, and typically a keyword phrase or a title is not a sentence. It is a phrase. A phrase doesn't require a period. Alex Fishing, the Patreon is not as nice as YouTube. People complain about YouTube monetization issues, but Patreon can ban you in a second. No questions asked. Artie Franklin, always love your videos. Thanks for your advice. Make time for the fam. Absolutely. All right, so we will get rid of that and that. And the next channel up is Destiny Darling. Destiny D Darling. Here we go. Destiny D. All right. So first thing I'd say is that this doesn't tell me, I mean, it's nicely done, and I think it looks okay for mobile, but it doesn't really tell me what your content is about. So let's go into the About section, see what you got. Is about growing as a person, developing personal style, motivation, health, fitness. All right, so I would think about this, which I think these are all great values. So you got some lifestyle elements, fitness, finance, all great things to share on your channel. Can be creative in the beauty and graphic industry. I would try to take this, boil it down to as few words as possible, and maybe do some kind of subheader up here that, you know, like you know, lifestyle. Let me see. Let me just take a look real quick at the actual content that you're making in terms of, or what you describe. Let's see. Design a YouTube background, having a big dog in a small apartment, contouring. I let we heart it. Pick my makeup. Episode in real life. Trying. Oh, mirror makeup challenge. How to use. So you got some money stuff in there. Credit card, makeup. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have a broad range of topics. And you're kind of doing a vlogging type lifestyle channel. So I would try to find some way to kind of, you know, boil your content down into a few items, whatever they end up being, you know, whether it's lifestyle, finance, or beauty, or otherwise, and try to share some information down here. You know, whatever those bullet points might be. I mean, you could just call it lifestyle, you know, lifestyle vlog, because you're kind of covering a wide range of content. Or just do something like, you know, inspiring young people, you know, trying to cover all that different. And this is kind of thing when we're looking at like the focus of a channel, when you're trying to come up with a succinct way to describe all the content, when it's hard, it might mean that your content is kind of wide, because we can't just say a lifestyle beauty channel, because you're also doing finance type stuff. You know, so you might want to have to come up with something a little more abstract, you know, like inspiring young people, you know, I'm not sure how you would squeeze all that in. So, you know, if you were just doing finance, you could do, you know, inspiring young people to be more aware of their finances, or to be smarter about money. But then you also have the lifestyle elements and everything else going on out there, which makes it a bit of a challenge. But generally speaking, the majority of your thumbnails have your face in them, which is good because that helps build your brand. You have it in here, although you're slightly rotated to about the 2 o'clock position there. But it's consistent enough that people can see you and recognize you, which is great. And young budget, so you kind of have a little series kind of thing going in there. See how you're doing your playlists. Now I know, I'm curious how YouTube will handle these. I know in YouTube search, a lot of the punctuation gets dropped and not considered on the actual search results. You know, like 10,000 versus 10,000 with a comma in it versus 10000. They don't really look at them differently. I'm not sure what happens when we start throwing funky icons in there, though. But I mean, it looks nice, kind of fits your brand and everything. I'm just curious if that plays a role. But you're kind of using more generalized topics for your playlists, so they're not really searchable the way they are anyway. As long as you're consistent with including your face in your thumbnail, that kind of helps on your branding. I mean, there might be some opportunity to get your thumbnails a little more in tune with what you got going on in your channel art, because you kind of have this wallpapery kind of background going on up here. Whereas these tend to have kind of a, not quite pink, it's kind of like an earthy tone back here as your backdrop for all of your, or the majority of your thumbnails. So you may want to find something that kind of looks a little closer to this for the background of your images up here. And I feel like whatever the desired effect here with the little glowing fingers is kind of like ET looking thing. I feel like that is more distracting than helpful to your brand, because you're trying to take in everything else and then that kind of happens. So I might consider undoing that or redoing your channel art to remove that, because I don't really get its desired effect, and it's just distracting to the eye. So all right, so I think that covers that for now. All right, let's get here. You're welcome, Destiny. And Destiny says, I literally can't focus on one thing because I feel like it's all going to be the same thing. And with a vlog style channel, you don't really have to focus on one thing. But to grow a channel where people get to know, you're basically building your personal brand on it. It just can take longer. So as long as you enjoy the content, just be patient with it, and, continue to make the content the way you're making it. And then if you have the opportunity to kind of round your content up into a handful of kind of categories, not only will that help you decide what type of content to make, but it'll help to set some expectations for your audience. All right. Okay. Take care, Devin. Chris Conkle Vlogs is saying icons hurt SEO big time. Keep them in the comments and descriptions, but in the description after your keyword phrases. Yeah, and I mean I know for search that's going to be a problem. The types of playlists names that were being used on that channel weren't really lending themselves to search anyway. So the question kind of becomes whether for content that's not going to be searchable, is there any value to have that look, you know, for the branding perspective? Honestly, I don't think the way it's being done is going to matter in either direction too much because they aren't searchable titles. So, let's see here. Uh-oh. Water's all gone. Let's see. Okay, we got that one taken care of. All right, so the next channel up is Arthur Moorhead. All right, so the first thing that stands out on this channel is the channel art. Doesn't really give me any idea of what to expect on this channel or what the content is. So that is something that I would strongly consider maybe revising. All about faux and decorative painting, the techniques, history, and lore about the trade and the art form. Okay, so I don't know if this is part of an artwork. That may be the case, but I think that the average person who stops by your channel is not really going to get enough information from this image to get to a point where they're ready to subscribe to your channel. So one of the things that I would consider, here, let's look at your most recent content because I see how to get your artist video on Google, more basic mural painting, my movie, basic beach mural. All right, so it looks to me like you are maybe sharing your process for creating these works of art. In that case, you may all right, so one thing I see here that jumps out is that your last video is 5 months ago, and that is definitely not going to be frequent enough. Let's see. These are just like... All right, so another thing to consider here, just looking at your actual content here. So you're using a green screen to put your possibly your artwork behind you. You see you have a lot of noise around your image. That is due to low light issues. Green screens can really be a challenge to light them. One, just by looking at what you got going on here, you could definitely use some more light from the front. The other thing that you want to be able to do is cast light on your green screen from each side so it lights the green screen behind you and you don't cast shadows on it. But all this noise is the effect of trying to adjust your keying, your chroma key, too far in the direction to remove the background, but then it starts to bleed into the actual colors here. So what you would want to do is you definitely need some more light to get a better green screen effect here. Get some more light in front of you, and a cheap way you can do that, you can buy those like the shop lights, the clip-on shop lights, less than $10 at like Home Depot or Lowe's, and add, get some more light on your scene here. The other thing that I would say is I'm imagining that these are all artists of many colors. Artfo Designs, Reddit. I would try to find some more consistency in the way in which you're doing thumbnails. It looks like the last videos that you did were just screen prints on there. You definitely would want to, first of all, get some more light into the image so people can see a clearer picture, plus try to show them the art that you're working on more than your image in this case. Unless you're trying to build your personal brand, in which case I would get your face up here, definitely get some more light in there, as I mentioned, and kind of go from there. And definitely content more frequently than what appears to be once a month right now. Like you, have a good night, Launch. All right, let's see what we got going on. Straight 6 fan, I liked the live stream, so maybe I missed the cutoff long ago about getting on the channel review list. But if I can still get in, I would love to. Let me scroll. I'm trying to scroll back and see what other requests we have here. Probably going to wrap up the stream at 11:30, which means we got about another half hour. So I want to go through and see if there's any questions. I'm also going to turn on the AC, so I apologize if it gets noisy in the background. Hopefully that won't be too loud, but getting a little warm in here. All right, let's see. Okay, I'll have the whole... Destiny's going to have a thumbnail design day. Let me know if that AC in the background is too overwhelming. Let's see. Covered that. Hey, Tom. Welcome to the stream. All right, so okay. Okay, picking a couple more channels for a look-see. So if I do happen to come across your channel and you've previously had a channel review and you haven't changed anything since the last channel review, you probably won't get into the channel review list this time because it doesn't make sense to keep reviewing the same stuff that hasn't changed. Driving me crazy. Ultimately, $20 backstop saved me hours of frustration. I assume he means replacing the green screen. Yeah, if you guys can, a lot of people think that the green screen, I mean, before you start doing this, it's like, oh, professional green screen. I want to learn how to do green screen. The reality is green screens are a pain in the butt, and you can invest a little bit of money in a backdrop and not have to worry about trying to make your background look good, because especially if you're not in a situation where you can leave a studio set up exactly the same way all the time. If you have to adjust your lights every time, it can be a royal pain trying to get your light just right to make the green screen look the way it should. So I have a green screen laying over there, and I haven't used it in over a year. Okay, let's see here. Whoops. All right, so the next channel we're going to take a look at is Straight Six Fan. All right, so Straight Six Fan, offbeat hot rodding. Okay. We go into the About section. Hot rodding, modifying and customizing the car, trucks. Most wouldn't touch, also building a rat rod, radio, flyer, go-kart. Okay. Offbeat. Take a look at your recent content, see what we got going on. That isn't quite the interesting little... Trying to see a picture that matches what was going on in the thumbnail. Oh, goodness. All right. Rat rod, radio. Okay, so the one thing, the text here is really kind of small. You don't have to repeat your entire title in your thumbnail. In fact, that's probably not a good idea. So, you want to find a way, if you're going to add text to the mix, to keep it as minimal as possible. Like, you could probably reduce a lot of what you got going on there. Trying to figure out what we got going on here. All right, so you had, is this a live stream? Yep. So you had a live stream with Jeff Eatley. Does some pretty cool photography. And I like the consistency of your thumbnails. I mean, you're doing good in that sense, but I would probably try to find a way to get a little more branding on there. You know, try to find something a little more like this. I would probably try to redesign this so it actually fit in the circle a little bit better. Right now it kind of looks like a square peg that was forced into a round hole. You know, like, even if you took like an 8-ball like this and maybe used some white lettering and you just went like SSF inside the 8-ball and you made the 8-ball your icon, that might be a cool way to kind of stay true to this, but at the same time give you an icon that you could then pull into branding and identify your videos as yours. And then got uploads. Yeah, so on your homepage, instead of doing this uploads and created playlists and popular uploads, I would get your actual playlists and get horizontal playlists set up, and I would display those, as many of those as will fit here. So horizontal playlist, just kind of like your uploads is, but I would replace the uploads with your own. And I wouldn't do created playlists. I don't think there's a lot of value in showing this in this format. And then I would get rid of popular uploads altogether. and then try to get your other playlists displayed there. All right. Barnyard Chicken, is that paneling? The brick behind you looks good on camera. That is, in fact, sorry to ruin the magic show, but yes, that is paneling from Home Depot or Lowe's. It is a single sheet of paneling. Driving me crazy. Dan, the one you helped me pick looks almost 3D on camera. Yeah, the some of those the cloth backgrounds can do a nice job as well. For those of you who have ever watched like Owen Video when he does his live shows, the wall to his right is cloth, or at least it used to be. I think it looks brick or something like that as well. So, all right. See. That and that and that one. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Got to double check channels, make sure they are appropriate for the live stream. All right, so the next channel up is the Gap Live. All right, so the first thing that you should do, the Gap Live, is pull up your channel on mobile. And I can guarantee you that it's not going to look the way you want it to look because your channel art is too wide. This channel art is going to get cut off probably somewhere between Great and American and probably somewhere after the A. And we will verify that by looking at it on my phone. We will go into the YouTubes and search for the Gap Live. This is also a good practice to do on your own channel to make sure that you're not competing with somebody else with the same name. Able to find their channel pretty good. And so, yeah, when you pull up their channel, it cuts off the artwork right in the middle of the A, and actually it makes it as far over as the M. So you really want to consider optimizing your channel art for mobile because you're probably getting at least 50% of your audience on a mobile device. So it's definitely helpful to do that as well. Taking a look at the rest of the channel, definitely have some consistent color schemes here. Very red, white, and blue going on. Great American Podcast. I see here that's fairly memorable. We have, I see you got your little logo up here. Early week meaningless live stream. What do you want to see? Podcasting on YouTube. How we do it. All right, here. And so we're doing podcasting. I see. Is this kind of like a variety show, perhaps? Kind of like a radio show. Gap Live Father's Day, the Gap Live line to the cops. Gary will be live in Vegas. All right. Johnson interview, blooper outtakes. And let's see what Great America wants to make America laugh again. We find the middle ground that we all share and use it to bring us together by presenting an informative, thought-provoking, and highly amusing show. We're modest too. Stories that make America great, truly great, and the stories about... All right, so kind of like... comedy influenced news and variety kind of show. Sometimes we're idiots, sometimes we tackle more serious issues everyone faces. Civil dialogue, open discourse, open minds, and a little profanity. All right. So, generally speaking, your color scheme kind of ties it all together, and you can kind of get that these are all from the same channel. Because there's a variety of faces that appear, it's kind of hard to see how many people are actually on the channel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Is that a fourth person? Kind of hard to see exactly who the main characters are here. I mean, I just see you two up here, so maybe it's just the two of you. In which case, I might try to find a way to consistently get some branding on here to account for the times when your faces aren't necessarily on the thumbnails. You know, some kind of logo, maybe some version of this. I probably wouldn't use that exactly the way it is because the font's so small that when you do add it, you can't really see what's on it anyway. You know, but maybe there may be a version of this where you can make less text but larger just for the purpose of including it as your icon. Maybe you just take this kind of oval and you put a really big gold microphone in the middle of it, and that can be the icon that you actually use on your thumbnails just to kind of tie that branding in. But you can kind of play around with it and see what works. Then, of course, on your main channel page, you got your descriptions. That's good. Live streams, holiday shows. I would still try to get some descriptions on these particular playlists. And I would also try to get at least 5 videos in a given playlist so you don't end up with these gaps here. You can kind of use, as kind of a strategy, a content strategy, you can use these gaps to determine what type of content you should be making, you know, to get these other sections filled in. All right. Barnyard Chicken. My husband keeps looking at it every time we go to Home Depot. Yeah, they're pretty reasonably priced, and it's so much nicer than a green screen. Life with Georgia. Have you ever had depression? If you're talking to me, depression, no. Anxiety, yes. I mean, anxiety doesn't necessarily make you feel all that great, but not like... Let's see. Need More Subs is back. Good to see you. Chris Conkle Vlogs, have you put any thought into doing more advanced OBS tutorials? Yes, absolutely. I have a list of them. I have to work them into the video rotation. So the next couple of videos are probably going to be view related. And then I want to put out some OBS videos in a row. So yes, there will be some OBS tutorials coming out. One of the things I want to do, I want to look at more detail is OBS versus Streamlabs OBS. see whether or not Streamlabs OBS has become kind of a suitable replacement to OBS for non-gaming YouTubers. Straight Six fan, if you're I don't like uploads and popular uploads because they aren't as flexible. Like, you can't add stuff to them like you can with your own playlist that you make. And I think that uploads and popular uploads are kind of redundant because you could literally just make a playlist and sort it by view count and achieve what popular uploads does. So I just don't think it's necessary. You can create your own that are more search-friendly playlists that are related to your channel and kind of go from there. The whole idea of uploads and popular uploads is just... I mean, I recommend for playlists in general, if you... to sort them by... If they're not time-sensitive, to sort them by most views descending. That way you're presenting your most successful content to people who come to your channel, which is basically what popular uploads is doing for you anyway. Having a few issues with the output from I'm not sure what Pro Tools is. Pro Tools and OBS. Have a good night, Kara J Live. Have a good night, Dennis. All right, so I want to share. Where is it here? So for those of you who may not know, every time we end a live stream, we head over to Discord. Discord's kind of like a big chat room with a bunch of different categories. I do a thing over there called the live stream after party. It's just an opportunity to hang out a little bit longer, but it gets me off camera, a little more relaxed, and we can still carry on conversation, answer questions that you might have. I just threw a link to the Creator Fundamentals Discord in the chat. So if you've never stopped over, when the live stream ends, click that link and hop over there and at least say hi. You don't have to hang out forever, but like to build the community over there because it's another way for us to communicate with each other. You know, if we're running into a day where YouTube is all full of 500 monkeys. So there's a mobile app and stuff that goes with it. So I have it on my phone, so I actually get notifications from it above and beyond the after party thing. Discord, there's also one that is dedicated just to patrons that just has a little more availability to me if you have questions or you want to work on your channel. So you can certainly consider Patreon if that's something that you're interested in having that as a resource. But definitely stop over if you haven't done so yet. Come hang out at the Discord. And for those of you who are on Facebook, I know I shared this earlier, but Facebook group is closing in rapidly on 1,000 members, so I'd love to have you guys come and join. Great to have you over there. It's a lot easier to converse on a daily basis on Facebook than it might be, you know, through comments or whatever on YouTube. So definitely a couple of great resources with a lot of great community members that can definitely help you grow on your channel, and they're going to get you a lot more helpful information than just what you might pick up on a live channel review. So let's see, to that end, we want to pull up Fantastic Joe is currently the stream boss. So congrats to the Fantastic Joe for holding that down here for quite a while. And Hicks Video in the house. Good to see you. All right. Facebook, this thing that people use. All right, here. So apparently, all right. Hopefully the 500 errors did not continue to be an issue for everybody. It looks like that they pretty much resolved here for the night, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. All right. All right, so yes, if you want to get some helpful information in between live streams, definitely join the Discord and the Facebook group. Love to see you guys over there. I'm going to head over to the Discord right now. We're going to wrap up this live stream. It's been great to have everybody on. Always good to have the Hangouts and just talk YouTube, answer any questions that you have, review some channels. Hopefully, you guys will be able to take that information and actually implement it on your channels and, you know, grow even more until next time. So, great seeing everybody. I'll see you over on Discord. Have a good night.